Welcome to the Heartbeat Chronicles, the podcast that delves into the intricate dynamic of love, sex, relationships, lifestyle, journaling, counseling, and therapy, and the messy in between. Get ready to explore the various aspects of life's heartbeat and discover insightful conversations that resonate with you. In today's episode, we're diving into something truly special, the #Hey Soulful Riley segment. This is where I get to connect with all of you, my incredible soulful ambassadors, on a personal level. I'll be answering your heartfelt questions, taking in your requests, and sharing meaningful conversations with you. Whether it's about love, life's ups and downs, or anything in between, this is our space to explore it all together. So let's get into it. Hey everyone! Welcome to the Heartbeat Chronicles, where every beat tells a story. I'm your host, Riley Mitchell, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today. For those of you tuning in for the first time, a big warm welcome to our soulful family. Here on Heartbeat Chronicles, we dive deep into the highs and lows, the twists and turns, and all the messy in-betweens of life. It's all about real conversations that resonate with our hearts and souls. Now, to all our beloved first-time listeners, you are now officially our soulful ambassadors. Yes, you heard that right. Being a soulful ambassador means you're part of a community that values authenticity, connection, and heartfelt storytelling. Your experiences, your questions, and your insights are what fuel this podcast. It's your input that shapes the content we bring to each episode, making this a collaborative journey. I can't stress enough how much you all mean to me. Your stories inspire me, your questions challenge me, and your engagement gives this podcast its heartbeat. It's incredible to see how your contributions transform our discussions into something very special and deeply meaningful. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. Whatever you're going through, there's a good chance someone else is too, and your voice can make a difference. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being the soulful ambassadors that you are. Now let's dive into another heartfelt conversation and uncover those stories that make our hearts beat just a little bit stronger. Heartbeat Chronicles exists to fill a unique space in our lives, the messy in-betweens that so often get overlooked. This podcast is not just about sharing stories. It's about sparking genuine, heartfelt conversations that help us understand ourselves and each other a little better. We delve into those awkward, unsettling, but incredibly formative moments that shape who we are and who we are becoming. Here, we don't shy away from the tough questions or the uncomfortable truths. Instead, we embrace them, dissect them, and learn from them. Heartbeat Chronicles is your safe space to find resonance, to see that you're not alone in feeling lost, overwhelmed, or uncertain. Life is rarely a straight path, and that's okay. It's in these twisty, murky stages where we often find our most profound growth and understanding. My goal is to foster personal connections and meaningful engagement. That happens right here with you, our soulful ambassadors, who send in your thoughts, questions, and stories. You drive the heartbeat of this podcast. Your personal narratives and experiences create a tapestry of shared humanity that everyone who listens can connect with. Each episode is an opportunity to connect more deeply, not just with the content, but with each other. So as we journey through the messiness, let's remember that it's in these very in-betweens where clarity can often emerge. You're part of a collective heartbeat, and every beat tells a story worth exploring. Thank you for being here and for adding your unique rhythm to our shared journey. All right, let's dive into some of your questions now. Question 1. Hey, Soulful Riley, I'm in my late 20s and feel overwhelmed by career choices. How do I know if I'm on the right path? I hear you. Being in your 20s can sometimes feel like standing at a crossroads with 100 different paths ahead of you and everyone expecting you to sprint down one confidently and never look back. But let me tell you, you're certainly not alone in feeling this way. The pressure to have everything figured out by now can be overwhelming, and the truth is, few people truly do. Firstly, let's talk about those expectations. Who says you need to have your entire career mapped out by the time you hit 30? In truth, life has this funny way of unfolding in unexpected ways, and sometimes the path you're on doesn't reveal itself until you take a few steps forward. It's okay if your career journey feels like a zigzag rather than a straight line. That's where the most interesting stories and rewarding experiences come from. Now let's dive into how to navigate this overwhelming sea of choices. The key is to follow what excites you. Yes, think about what lights a fire inside of you. What subjects make you lose track of time? What activities can you get lost in because they bring you joy? Those sparks of excitement are not just hobbies or passing interests. They're clues pointing you toward your true passions. So explore them deeply. Exploration is essential. Don't be afraid to try new things, even if they seem unrelated to your current career path. Taking a class in something completely outside your comfort zone or volunteering for a project that intrigues you can open up new perspectives and opportunities. It's like painting with all the colors on your palette. Through experimenting, you might discover a shade that perfectly resonates with you. And listen, it's absolutely okay to pivot. Sometimes we enter a field thinking it's the right fit, only to realize down the line that it's not what we expected. And that's perfectly fine. Trust your gut. If something feels off, give yourself the grace to shift directions. The fear of starting over or admitting that something isn't working is far less significant than the regret you'll feel if you don't allow yourself to pursue something that truly fulfills you. Remember, every step you take, whether it leads you forward, sideways, or even backward, is a step toward growth. Each experience, each experiment, even those moments of doubt, contribute to your personal and professional development. Each job you take, each class you attend, each new skill you acquire adds to a richer, more complex understanding of who you are and what you want. Think of it like planting seeds in a big garden. Not every seed will grow into a tree, but the ones that do will be strong and resilient because you took the time to nurture them. You might stumble upon unexpected opportunities that shape your path in surprising ways. For instance, an interest in photography could lead you to a career in visual marketing, or a passion for writing might guide you into content creation or even publishing. And don't underestimate the power of detours. Sometimes the most scenic routes are the ones you didn't plan on taking. These detours can bring invaluable experiences and lessons. They shape your character, build resilience, and often lead you to your true calling. Let's also talk about self-care and mental health during this journey. Feeling overwhelmed is natural, but don't let it paralyze you. It's important to step back, take deep breaths, and remind yourself that it's okay to not have it all figured out right now. Surround yourself with a support system that understands and encourages you. Whether it's family, friends, mentors, or even a supportive online community, these people can offer invaluable advice and cheer you on as you navigate this path. Keep in mind that social media often shows the highlight reels of people's lives. It can seem like everyone else your age is achieving incredible things while you're still finding your footing. But remember, everyone has their struggles and doubts. They're just not as visible. Focus on your own journey and growth, rather than comparing yourself to others. So, my dear Soulful Ambassador, embrace the uncertainty and look at this time as an exciting chapter in your life story. Trust in your gut, follow your passions, and don't be afraid to take risks and pivot when necessary. Remember, it's all about the journey, not just the destination. Each step, whether it feels right or not, is a part of your path toward creating a fulfilling and joyous life. You've got this, and we are here to support you every step of the way. Question 2. Hey, Soulful Riley, I'm in my 40s and have been out of the workforce for years. Is it too late for a career change? Listen, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. It's absolutely never too late to chase your dreams or switch careers, even if you're in your 40s. I mean, who came up with this silly idea that you have to stick to one path your whole life? Was it a time-traveling robot from the future? Highly unlikely. Let's break it down. You're in your 40s, you've got a ton of experience, wisdom that you didn't have in your 20s or 30s, and a pretty solid idea of what truly matters to you. Think about it. You've spent years accumulating knowledge, skills, and insights. You've navigated the ups and downs, the twists and turns of life, and come out stronger each time. Isn't that a fantastic toolkit for making smart decisions and taking bold steps? Imagine starting a new business now. Sure, it might be daunting, but you already know how to manage finances, network with people, and stay resilient during tough times. Or what if you decide to go back to school? You'd be approaching it with a maturity and focus that younger students might lack. And if you think about pivoting your career, just think about the transferable skills you have. Communication, leadership, problem solving, these are gold in any field. Take Joanne Rowling, for example. Yes, the lady behind Harry Potter. She was in her 30s, almost hitting her 40s, when she got her big break. Before that, she was dealing with all sorts of struggles. But did she let that stop her? Absolutely not. She pushed through and found immense success with something she was passionate about. Okay, maybe you're thinking, but I don't even know where to start. That's perfectly fine. Start by exploring what excites you. Is it a childhood passion you never had the chance to pursue? Or maybe a new interest that's popped up recently? take baby steps, join a club, take a part-time course, or volunteer in a new field. This exploration phase can be incredibly enlightening and help you figure out a more defined path. Networking can play a crucial role here as well. Connect with friends, old colleagues, or even new acquaintances in your area of interest. Their insights and experiences can be invaluable. Plus, they'll be rooting for you, and that's always a morale booster. I know there might be moments of doubt. What if I fail, you might ask. But here's the thing, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every mistake teaches you something new and brings you one step closer to your goal. In your 40s, you probably already know that better than anyone else. So embrace those little setbacks and keep moving forward. Remember, this journey is as much about the process as it is about the destination. Enjoy the learning, the new experiences, and the personal growth that comes with it. And most importantly, believe in your potential. You have the wisdom, the experience, and the drive to achieve whatever you set your mind to. So to anyone out there in their 40s thinking it's too late, it absolutely, unequivocally is not. Chase those dreams, make bold moves, and reinvent yourself. This is your time to shine. Question 3. Hey, Soulful Riley, as a wife and mother, how do I balance my personal goals with the responsibilities of my family? Balancing personal goals with family responsibilities is indeed a juggling act, isn't it? I totally get where you're coming from. It's something many of us wrestle with. First off, let's get one thing straight. Trying to do everything perfectly is a myth. Perfectionism is like a unicorn, magical to think about, but pretty much impossible to find in real life. So, where does that leave us? It leaves us with priorities. Yes, priorities. Those wonderful, life-saving slots where we put what's most important in the moment. And here's the trick. These priorities can be fluid. One moment, it might be prepping dinner and helping with homework. And the next, it might be sneaking in an hour to work on that novel you've always wanted to write. Let's talk boundaries. Oh, boundaries, how they save our sanity. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about making sure there's room for you to breathe. It's okay to set aside specific times for your personal projects and to communicate that with your family. Mommy's in her creative zone from 6 to 7 p.m. or this weekend I'm dedicating a few hours to my online course. It helps everyone know what to expect and gives you a guilt-free window to focus on your passions. Now, delegating, you might think of it as passing the baton or sharing the load. It's perfectly okay to delegate some chores or tasks, whether it's asking your partner to take over the bedtime routine or getting the kids involved in household duties. Sometimes it's even worth considering outside help, like a babysitter or a cleaning service, when your plate is extra full. Remember, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a smart strategy to keep all the balls in the air without burning out. Another golden nugget of wisdom, be kind to yourself. Seriously, cut yourself some slack. You're doing the best you can, and that's more than good enough. Taking time for your goals isn't being selfish. In fact, it has a beautiful trickle-down effect. When you're fulfilled and happy pursuing your dreams, you're more present and energized for your family. It's a win-win. Have you ever noticed how you feel recharged after spending time on something you're passionate about? It's like hitting the reset button. The creativity and joy you derive from your personal goals inevitably seep into other aspects of your life, making you a more fulfilled and inspiring presence at home. It's also about finding harmony, not balance. Balance implies equal parts of everything, which again pulls us back into the realm of perfectionism. Harmony, on the other hand, is about finding a rhythm that works for you and your family. Some days you'll dive deep into family affairs, and other days you'll be knee-deep in your personal projects. Both are okay, and both are essential. Lastly, let's talk about the power of saying no. It's a small word, but it packs a punch when it comes to preserving your time and energy. You don't have to be everything to everyone all the time. Give yourself permission to turn down extra commitments that don't align with your current priorities. Instead, save your yes for opportunities and activities that truly light your fire and bring value to your life. So balancing personal goals with family responsibilities is not just a possibility, it's a wonderful dance that evolves and flows. By prioritizing, setting boundaries, delegating, and being kind to yourself, you can pursue your dreams while still being the amazing spouse and parent you are. Remember, nurturing your own aspirations is a gift to your family too. Keep dreaming, keep striving, and keep nurturing yourself. You've got this. Question 4. Hey, Soulful Riley, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and sometimes I feel like I've lost touch with my ambitions. How can I get back on track? Let's dive into the question of reigniting ambitions as a stay-at-home mom. This is such a significant topic because, let's be real, being a stay-at-home mom is one of the hardest jobs out there. You're on duty 24/7, often juggling multiple roles at once: teacher, nurse, chef, chauffeur, you name it. So first off, let's give a big shout out to all the stay-at-home parents who are holding it down every single day. Now, it's totally understandable to feel that you've lost touch with your ambitions or personal goals. When you're so wrapped up in taking care of others, it's easy to put your own needs and desires on the back burner. But here's the good news. It's never too late to reignite those passions and ambitions. The key is to start small and be intentional about carving out time for yourself. You might be thinking, sure, that sounds great, but where am I supposed to find the time? Well, the first step is to look for little pockets of time in your day. Maybe it's when the kids are napping, or perhaps early in the morning before everyone wakes up, or even late at night once everyone's asleep. The idea is to find just an hour, that's right, just 60 minutes, that you can dedicate to something that excites you. Think about what used to light you up before life got so busy. Was it writing, painting? Maybe you had a knack for graphic design or always wanted to learn a new language. Whatever it is, start by dedicating a small sliver of your day to it. An hour might seem insignificant, but over time, it adds up. Imagine 365 hours invested in something you love by the end of the year. That's equivalent to over 9 work weeks of full-time effort. Of course, this requires a bit of planning and maybe even some reshuffling of responsibilities, and it's okay to ask for help. If you have a partner, talk to them about sharing the load so you can have that precious hour. If family or friends can pitch in occasionally, that's fantastic too. Remember, you don't have to do everything alone. Asking for support is not a sign of weakness. It's a smart way to ensure that you're taking care of yourself too. Another thing to think about is to give yourself permission to not be perfect in every role you play. The house doesn't have to be spotless, and it's okay if dinner is takeout once in a while. The world won't end if some tasks are left undone. What's more important is that you're nurturing all parts of yourself, including those that go beyond your role as a mom. As you begin to rediscover what excites you, you may find that passion and energy spilling over into other areas of your life. You'll feel more fulfilled, more vibrant, and likely even more patient and engaging with your family. When you're happy and pursuing what you love, it sets a powerful example for your children too. They see that self-care and personal growth are important, that it's okay to chase dreams at any stage of life. Rediscovering your ambitions as a stay-at-home mom isn't about neglecting your family. It's about nurturing yourself so you can be the best version of yourself for them. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passions and responsibilities coexist harmoniously. So start brainstorming and make a list of things you've always wanted to do or the hobbies you want to pick back up. Then, inch by inch, start dedicating those pockets of time to these activities. It might take some adjusting, but remember, your dreams are valid and worth pursuing. Reigniting your ambitions is a journey, not a race. Give yourself grace and celebrate every small step you take. Little by little, you'll rediscover that part of yourself that's been waiting to shine. And before you know it, you'll be juggling your dreams alongside your family responsibilities with confidence and joy. Keep believing in your potential and make those dreams a priority because you deserve it. Question 5. Hey, Soulful Riley, I'm nearing retirement, but feel like I still have so much left to accomplish. How do I make the most of this next phase of my life? Oh, what a wonderful place to be. Retirement isn't an end. It's a new beginning, ripe with possibilities. Now let's break this down and get to the heart of making the most out of this exciting phase. First off, think about the word retirement. It traditionally means withdrawing from one's occupation, but I prefer to think of it as reinvention. You've spent years honing skills, building relationships, and gathering experiences. Now, you have all the freedom to apply these gifts in new ways. And let me just start by saying, retirement isn't the final chapter. It's more like starting a new book in the same series, with a lot of blank pages ready to be filled with your unique story. So how can you make the most out of this new phase in your life? First up, it's essential to shift your perspective. Think of retirement not as an end, but as a new beginning. You've worked hard for years, and now you have the freedom to pursue the things you've always wanted to. And hey, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? One key step is to reassess your passions. Ask yourself, what have I always wanted to do but never had the time for? For some, it might be travel. For others, it could be diving into a new hobby, learning a new skill, or even starting a new business. The beauty of retirement is that the clock isn't dictating your schedule anymore. You get to call the shots. Speaking of travel, let's dive into that for a bit. If the travel bug has been nipping at you, this is the perfect time to give in. Whether it's visiting countries you've always dreamed of or taking road trips to explore less traveled parts of your own country, traveling can be incredibly fulfilling. Not only does it broaden your horizons, but it also introduces you to new cultures, foods, and experiences. And let's be real, who doesn't like a good adventure? Now, if travel isn't your thing, how about volunteering? Giving back to the community can be one of the most rewarding ways to spend your time. Whether it's tutoring kids, working at a local food bank, or even fostering animals, there's no shortage of ways to make a positive impact. Plus, it gives you a chance to meet new people and build relationships with those who share your passion for helping others. For those of you with the entrepreneurial spirit, starting a side hustle could be another exciting avenue. Have a knack for crafting? Maybe setting up an online store on Etsy is your calling. Enjoy writing? Consider starting a blog or freelancing. The internet has made it easier than ever to turn hobbies into viable income sources. Plus, it keeps your mind sharp and engaged, kind of like a workout for your brain. Let's not forget the importance of staying physically active. Retirement is the perfect time to focus on your health and wellness. Whether it's joining a gym, taking up yoga, or simply going for daily walks, keeping active is crucial. It's not just about staying fit. Physical activity has been proven to boost mood, improve sleep, and increase overall life satisfaction. Plus, it's a great way to meet people. Maybe you'll find your new best friend in that yoga class. And what about learning something new? Retirement can be the ideal time to pick up skills you've always been curious about but never had the time to explore. Think of activities such as painting, learning a musical instrument, or even enrolling in some courses to study a subject that interests you. Many local community centers, libraries, and even online platforms offer classes and resources that can help you dive into these new learning experiences. Also, consider the benefits of mindfulness practices. This might be as simple as meditating for a few minutes a day, practicing deep breathing exercises, or even just setting aside some time each day to relax and reflect. These practices can help you manage stress, improve your overall well-being, and give you a sense of inner peace. And let's face it, who couldn't use a little more zen in their lives? Let's not overlook the value of keeping a social calendar. Maintaining and even expanding your social network in retirement can do wonders for your mental and emotional well-being. Plan regular get-togethers with family and friends, join clubs or groups that align with your interests, or even consider traveling with a group. Human connections are a fundamental part of a fulfilling life, so make an effort to cultivate and maintain them. Finally, don't be afraid to dream big. This is your time after all. If there's a goal or dream that seems a little out there, don't dismiss it. Maybe you'll finally write that novel, hike the Appalachian Trail, or make it a mission to visit every national park. The sky's the limit. In summary, retirement is a magnificent opportunity to reinvent yourself, to do the things you've always wanted to do but never found the time for. Embrace it with open arms, stay curious, and fill those blank pages with new and exciting chapters. The best is yet to come, and you have all the tools to make this next phase your most fulfilling yet. Question 6. Hey, Soulful Riley, I've been feeling really hopeless lately, especially with everything going on in the world. How do I even begin to find hope again? I know it's something many of us struggle with, especially considering the barrage of distressing news and personal stressors we face. But let me tell you, hope is something that can be nurtured and rediscovered, even in the darkest of times. So if you're feeling hopeless right now, the first thing to do is to acknowledge your feelings. Seriously, give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. There's no shame in it. We all have those moments when the weight of the world feels like it's just too much. Name your emotions, whether it's sadness, frustration, or fear. Identifying them can be incredibly liberating, and it paves the way for healing. Now, once you've acknowledged how you feel, begin looking for those tiny, everyday glimmers of hope. They can be so small we often overlook them. A smile from a stranger, the smell of coffee in the morning, the laughter of children, or the vibrant colors of a sunset. These seemingly insignificant moments can actually be powerful reminders that life, in all its chaos, still has beauty and positivity to offer. Gratitude is another powerful tool. I know, you've probably heard this 1,000 times, but that's because it works. Start a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. They don't have to be monumental. Maybe it's your favorite pair of comfy socks or a text from a friend. Focusing on what you do have rather than what you don't can create a subtle yet profound shift in your mindset. It's like planting seeds of hope that can bloom over time. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. We all have those friends who are chronic complainers, and sometimes it can feel like their negativity is contagious. Instead, seek out the ones who bring out the best in you, those who encourage, inspire, and genuinely care for your well-being. Community and connection are essential pillars of hope. Sharing your feelings with someone who listens and understands can lighten your emotional load. Let's not forget about your physical environment either. Our surroundings can have a huge impact on our mental state. Clean up your living space, open the windows to let in fresh air, and bring in elements of nature like plants or flowers. Sometimes a little sprucing up can do wonders for your mood. Engage in activities that bring you joy and peace. Maybe it's painting, reading a book, or going for a jog. These activities can become your go-to sanctuary when things get tough. They offer a mental break and a chance to recharge. Remember, it's okay to step away for a bit and give yourself a breather. Don't underestimate the power of professional help. Therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate through these challenging feelings. Reaching out for support does not mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to seek the help you deserve. There are also numerous online resources and support groups where you can connect with others who understand what you're going through. Speaking of therapists and counseling, you all know of our partner Call Mary, and they provide quality therapy and counseling sessions online. If you've been following us, you know we started working with them earlier this year. Call Mary is an online therapy platform that connects you with licensed therapists to help you manage stress, anxiety, depression, and more, all from the comfort of your own home. We've teamed up with them to offer you a 20% discount when you subscribe to their services using our link. You can find the link in the description box or on our Instagram handle at @heartbeat_chronicles or my personal handle at _soulful_Riley. There's also a free mental health test available so you can check in on your mental well-being. That link will be available in the same places, so don't miss out. Hope is not a destination, it's a journey. It requires patience, self-love, and a bit of persistence. Allow yourself the grace to move at your own pace. You might not feel hopeful every single day, and that's perfectly okay. What matters is that you're taking steps, however small, towards nurturing that hope within you. So remember, whether it's through acknowledging your feelings, finding joy in small things, practicing gratitude, seeking positive connections, refreshing your environment, or engaging in creative outlets, there are multiple ways to rediscover hope. Even in the most challenging times, those glimmers are there. You just have to look for them and let them guide you. Question 7. Hey, Soulful Riley, what are some practical ways to cope when I feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel? You know, those times when everything seems overwhelming and it's tough to see a way out. We've all been there, haven't we? Those moments can feel daunting, but let's explore some practical ways to approach them and find some relief. First off, let's take things one day or even 1 hour at a time. It's easy to get lost in the enormity of our challenges, but breaking them down into manageable portions can make a massive difference. Think of it like chopping up a giant task into bite-sized chunks. Just focus on getting through the next hour, then the next day. Before you know it, you'll have strung together enough manageable moments to start building some momentum again. Second, let's talk about what you can control. Often we get overwhelmed by focusing on things that are out of our hands. Turn your attention to those little things that you can influence. Maybe it's your morning routine, your breathing, or even something as simple as choosing what you'll have for breakfast. By zeroing in on the small things you have control over, you can start to regain a sense of empowerment. One of the most effective tools you can have in your arsenal is a well-stocked self-care toolkit. What brings you comfort? What makes you feel even the tiniest bit better? It could be listening to your favorite song, stepping outside for a breath of fresh air, or maybe jotting down your thoughts in a journal. Think of these as your go-to relief strategies for when things get rough. And here's a big one. Never underestimate the power of reaching out. It's easy to feel isolated when you're down, but reaching out to friends, family, or even a support group can make a world of difference. Sometimes just hearing a familiar voice or receiving a reassuring message can lighten the load and give you that nudge you need to keep going. Let's also not forget the small grounding exercises we can do throughout the day. Mindfulness and breathing exercises can be incredibly grounding, and they're tools you can use anytime, anywhere. Take a few minutes to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and focus on the present moment. It's a simple yet effective way to center yourself and alleviate some of the anxiety weighing you down. And here comes an important reminder. It's absolutely okay to seek professional help. There is no shame in asking for assistance. Whether it's from a therapist, counselor, or support group, these professionals are there to help you navigate through tough times. You don't have to do this alone, and sometimes an external perspective can offer insights you might not have considered. Lifestyle changes can also play a crucial role. Regular physical activity, a balanced diet, and sufficient sleep can have a profound impact on your emotional well-being. Exercise, in particular, is a natural stress reliever and mood booster. Even a short walk can elevate your mood and help clear your mind. Lastly, let's talk about the importance of self-kindness. We can be so hard on ourselves, especially during difficult times. Practice talking to yourself like you would to a close friend. Show yourself some compassion and understanding. You're doing your best, and that's more than enough. All right, folks. Remember that even the smallest steps can lead to significant improvement. Focusing on the moment, reaching out for support, maintaining a self-care routine, and being kind to yourself can help you navigate through those seemingly endless tunnels. You're stronger than you realize, and every small act of self-kindness can light a tiny spark of hope. Keep going, and remember, you're not alone in this. Question 8. Hey, Soulful Riley. I've been struggling with personal failures, and it's hard not to feel like I'll never succeed. How do I find hope when I keep falling short? All right, this is something that can really keep us up at night, make us doubt ourselves, and sometimes even make us feel like giving up altogether. But here's the thing. Failure is not the end of the road. It's more like a detour. A friend of mine once joked that if GPS was like life, it would keep saying recalculating every time we hit a bump. And you know what? That's exactly what failure is. It's the universe's way of recalculating your route. First of all, let's reframe the idea of failure. We've got this notion, probably from school days or maybe from social media, that failure means you're not good enough. Trust me, that's a myth. Failure is simply feedback. It's the universe telling you, hey, this direction isn't working for now, try something else. Imagine if Thomas Edison cried and gave up every time one of his light bulbs didn't work. We'd be reading books by candlelight. So how do we take failure and turn it into a stepping stone? Start by asking yourself what you can learn from the situation. Every failure has a lesson wrapped up in it. You just need to be willing to unwrap it. Maybe you discover that your approach was off, or perhaps you find out that what you were pursuing wasn't something you were truly passionate about. I always say, if you're failing, it means you're trying, and that's something to be proud of. Another point to consider is giving yourself grace. We are often our harshest critics. If a friend came to you saying they felt like a failure, what would you tell them? You'd probably offer supportive words, encouragement, and remind them of their worth. So why not extend that same compassion to yourself? Allow yourself to feel the disappointment, but don't let it define you. Remember, success isn't the absence of failure, but the ability to recover from it. It's more like a dance, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The key is to keep moving forward. Think of each setback as preparation for something bigger. Athletes train hard, fail, get back up, and become stronger for it. Your life's journey isn't any different. You also need to remember that your story isn't over. In the heat of the moment, it might feel like failure is the final page in your book, but it's really just a plot twist. Your worth isn't determined by your worst moments. It's defined by how you rise from them. Each chapter of your life has a purpose, and each twist and turn contributes to the richness of your story. Take comfort in the fact that you're not alone in this. Every successful person you admire has faced failure, probably more times than they can count. The difference is they kept going, and so can you. Keep telling yourself that this too shall pass, because it will. So the next time you encounter failure, take a step back, breathe, and ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me? Then keep moving forward with the knowledge you've gained. Your journey is unique, and it's shaping you into the person you are destined to become. Remember, it's about staying resilient and trusting that every failure is just a stepping stone to your ultimate success. Revolutionize the way you see failures, and you'll find yourself not just enduring through them, but growing because of them. Your path is far from over. and each stumble is just another chapter in your incredible story. I get that, trust me. Failure can feel like the end of the world, but it's often just a misjudged stop on a much longer journey. You know, it's like those annoying pit stops on a road trip. You didn't plan for them, but they end up being part of the adventure. What we often miss is that failures hold valuable lessons, hidden gems of wisdom. Instead of seeing them as signs that you're not good enough, try to reframe them as feedback mechanisms. Ask yourself, what can you learn from these experiences? Each setback is like a guidepost directing you toward a better version of yourself. Think of it this way. You wouldn't critique a toddler for stumbling when they're learning to walk, right? Those stumbles are crucial. Without them, they wouldn't find their balance. In the same vein, our failures shape us, refine us, and ultimately prepare us for something bigger. Maybe it's a new opportunity, a different path, or a fresh perspective. Whatever it is, it's all contributing to your growth. It's important to give yourself grace during these times. Don't be too hard on yourself. Imagine treating yourself with the same compassion you would offer a close friend. What would you say to them? Probably something like, "It's okay, you'll get through this," or "You're stronger than you think." Start treating yourself with that same positive energy. And remember, success isn't about never failing. It's about getting back up each time you do. The stories of the most successful people in history are riddled with failure. Take Thomas Edison, for example. The guy made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb. Can you imagine if he'd given up at attempt number 999? Our lives would be so different now. Or look at J.K. Rowling, who was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a sensation. Their stories illustrate that failures aren't final steps, they're stepping stones. Your story isn't over. Far from it, and your worth isn't determined by your setbacks. Instead, it's defined by how you rise after each fall. See every stumble as a chance to rewrite your strategy, refine your approach, and come back stronger. It may take time and it won't always be easy, but those baby steps forward will eventually turn into strides, and before you know it, you'll be running. So the next time you face a failure, take a deep breath. Allow yourself to feel whatever emotions come up, and then shift your perspective. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me, and how can this experience make me better? Treat failure as a mentor rather than an adversary. By embracing this mindset, you'll find that each failure becomes a precious opportunity for personal growth. Plus, let's not forget the power of stories. Think about it. Would you rather hear a story about someone who never faced a challenge, or one where the hero had to overcome incredible odds? I'm betting on the latter. Those stories resonate with us because they mirror our own struggles and triumphs. Your journey, with all its ups and downs, is compelling and unique. Remember this: every time life knocks you down, you are given the choice to get back up and try again. Each failure refines your character and builds resilience. It's in these moments of struggle that we discover our true strength. So, be patient with yourself, celebrate small victories, and trust in the process. Your future self will thank you for it. Question 9. Hey, Soulful Riley, how do I talk about feeling hopeless with friends or family when I'm afraid they won't understand? Now, I get it. Talking about such deep and personal emotions isn't easy, especially when you're worried others may not understand. But opening up can be incredibly beneficial, even if it feels daunting at first. First off, understand that your feelings are valid. There's no right or wrong way to feel, and your emotions deserve to be acknowledged. Start by selecting a person you trust, someone who has shown empathy before, or who you feel safe with. This could be a close friend, a family member, or even a mentor. Remember, you don't have to share everything all at once. You can ease into the conversation by saying something like, "Hey, I've been going through a tough time and could really use someone to talk to." Next, be honest about what you're experiencing and what you need. This could mean simply venting, seeking advice, or just having someone listen without judgment. You might say, "I've been feeling really down lately, and it's hard for me to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't need you to fix anything. I just need you to hear me out." It's essential to manage your expectations here. Not everyone will react the way you hope, and that's okay. Some people might not know what to say or may not fully understand what you're going through. That doesn't mean they don't care. Sometimes they may even surprise you with their empathy and support. And even if someone doesn't understand, their presence in your life can still be comforting. Also, don't be afraid to set boundaries. If someone's reaction is more harmful than helpful, it's okay to limit how much you share with them. You can express gratitude for their concern and gently let them know you need a different kind of support. For example, "I appreciate you trying to help, but right now, I just need you to listen." Over time, you may find that Some people in your circle really step up, offering support and understanding that you didn't expect. And that's a beautiful thing. On the other hand, you might also discover who isn't equipped to support you in the way you need, and that's just as valuable. Knowing who you can turn to in times of need is crucial for your mental well-being. Sometimes friends or family may respond by sharing their experiences or suggesting professional help. If they've felt something similar, it can create a sense of solidarity. You're not alone in this journey. And if they suggest seeking out a therapist or a support group, consider their advice. Professional help is there to offer tools and strategies that can ease your burden. In the end, the goal is to lighten the emotional load you're carrying. You don't have to bear everything alone, and more often than not, opening up can deepen your connections with the people who genuinely care about you. They don't need to solve your problems. Sometimes their presence and willingness to listen are more than enough. So, muster up that courage, trust your instincts, and take that first step towards opening up about your hopelessness. It's not an easy road, but it's a necessary one. In the process, you may just find the support you've been longing for and build even stronger bonds with those around you. Remember, it's okay to not be okay, and talking about it is a brave and crucial step towards healing. Feeling hopeless is such a heavy burden to carry, and I completely get why you'd be apprehensive about opening up to friends or family. It's like that fear of vulnerability mixed with the dread of being misunderstood can sometimes feel paralyzing. But here's the thing. Opening up, despite being difficult, is crucial. First of all, let's acknowledge that feeling hopeless is a shared human experience. You are not alone in this, even if it feels isolating. When you decide to talk about your feelings, you're not only opening a window for support, but you might also be giving someone else permission to open up about their own struggles. It's a chain reaction of vulnerability and empathy. Be clear about your feelings. Describe what hopelessness feels like for you, because everyone experiences it differently. Maybe it's a sense of numbness, a heavy weight you can't shake off, or a constant feeling of dread about the future. The more you articulate, the better your listener can understand where you're coming from. Another point to consider is the value of professional help. While friends and family are vital support systems, therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate these heavy emotions. There's absolutely no shame in seeking professional help. In fact, it's one of the bravest steps you can take in caring for yourself. Remember to also check in with yourself throughout this process. Talking about deep personal feelings can be draining. Ask yourself how you're feeling after conversations and give yourself space to recover if needed. Self-care is crucial here, whether it's taking a walk, journaling, or just having a quiet moment to yourself. Lastly, know that your feelings are valid, and reaching out is a form of courage. Hopelessness can make you feel like you're stuck in a dark tunnel, but every conversation, every bit of openness pokes a little hole in that tunnel, letting light in. You don't have to carry this burden alone. By opening up, you're not only helping yourself, but also fostering a deeper, more authentic connection with those who care about you. It lightens your load and reminds you that there are people ready and willing to walk this path with you. It may seem intimidating, but each step you take towards openness is a step towards healing, understanding, and maybe even finding that glimmer of hope. So courage, dear heart, and take that step. Question 10. Riley, you talk about finding hope, but what if I'm just too tired to keep going? You know, sometimes life just knocks you down so hard that even imagining the concept of hope seems far-fetched. It's like you're running on fumes, and every step feels 10 times heavier than it should. When you're emotionally and mentally exhausted, finding hope can appear almost impossible. But here's the truth. It's not about looking for a grand solution right away. It's about taking small, gentle steps to care for yourself. First things first, give yourself permission to rest. This isn't about being lazy or giving up. It's about recognizing that you need to recharge your mental and emotional batteries. Just like your phone needs to be plugged in to keep working, so do you. Take that nap, allow yourself that evening off, or spend time in a space that feels comforting and peaceful, whether that's your cozy bedroom or a favorite spot in nature. It's also crucial to cut yourself some slack. We live in a world that glorifies constant productivity and hustle, but the reality is that no one can keep going nonstop without eventually burning out. Listen to your body and mind. They're often giving you signals about what you need. And sometimes what you need is a break, and that's perfectly okay. Another thing to keep in mind is the power of micro actions. When you're drained, even the simplest tasks can feel like monumental challenges. Break things down into the smallest possible steps. Instead of thinking about all the things you should do, focus on what you can do right now. Maybe it's as simple as getting up and brushing your teeth or sending a text to someone you trust. Each of these small actions can contribute to your overall sense of well-being and slowly help you regain some momentum. Engage in activities that bring you a sense of calm or joy. It could be anything from reading a book, watching a favorite movie, or even cooking a simple meal. These small acts of self-care can foster a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction, providing a much-needed lift to your spirits. Connecting with others can also be incredibly beneficial. Even when you're feeling too tired to explain everything, just having someone there can lighten the emotional load. Whether it's a heart-to-heart chat with a close friend or just sitting quietly with someone you trust, these moments of connection can remind you that you're not alone in your struggles. However, it's important to be mindful of who you reach out to. Your emotional energy is precious, and sharing it with the right people is crucial. Seek out those who have shown themselves to be understanding and empathetic. Sometimes a simple text message saying you're having a tough day can open up an avenue for support. Lastly, remember that hopelessness is often a symptom of exhaustion. Your current state of tiredness isn't forever, even if it feels that way right now. Emotions are fluid. They change and evolve over time. By allowing yourself to rest and taking small steps toward recovery, you give yourself the space to heal. Finding hope when you're exhausted doesn't have to be a monumental leap. It can be a series of tiny, manageable steps that gradually help you reclaim your sense of well-being. Keep in mind that hope isn't always a blazing flame. Sometimes it's just a flicker that quietly keeps you moving forward, one small step at a time. Celebrating small victories is crucial because each one is a step forward, no matter how tiny. Sometimes, hope isn't this grand, vibrant feeling that fills you with energy. Sometimes hope is quiet, almost like a whisper that says, "Keep going, you can do this." It might be present in small moments of joy or comfort, like the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the taste of your favorite meal, or the laugh shared with a friend. Hold on to those small sparks even when they seem fleeting. They add up over time. Developing a routine can also be immensely helpful. Not a rigid, stressful one, but a gentle routine that allows some predictability and stability in your life. Start small and grow from there. Maybe it's a morning routine where you make your bed and brew some coffee or tea. Whatever rhythm soothes you, lean into it. A good routine can serve as a foundation to build upon, giving you a sense of accomplishment and structure. Lastly, focus on what you can control. There's a lot in life that's beyond our control, and dwelling on those aspects can drain your energy. Shift your mindset to what you can manage, even if it's something small. You are resilient, you've faced challenges before, and you've come out the other side. This current struggle doesn't define you. It's a part of your journey, not the entirety of it. So when hope feels like just a whisper, remember that sometimes that's all you need to keep going one moment at a time. Your strength isn't in never feeling exhausted. It's in how you carry on despite it. Keep taking those small steps forward, and always remember to give yourself grace. After we released Season 2, Episode 1, we took to our socials to continue the conversation about hopelessness. And we asked you this question: have you ever felt hopeless? How did you navigate through that experience? And I love how you guys responded. Your stories and insights were incredibly moving and powerful. I've picked out a few of your responses to share with everyone. Thank you so much for opening up and contributing to this important discussion. Your voices truly make a difference. At Journey with Jen, I've definitely felt hopeless after losing my job last year. It took me months to even start looking for another. I found hope by leaning on my friends and family and reminding myself that my value isn't tied to a paycheck. Thank you for sharing that at Journey with Jen. It's so important to remember that our worth is far deeper than any job title. Leaning on your community is powerful, and I admire how you allowed them to lift you up in that tough season. Keep thriving. You've got this. At Soul Searcher Sam. Hopelessness has been a constant battle for me since high school. Therapy has helped, but it's still a work in progress. Hearing others' stories gives me some peace, though. I hear you at Soul Searcher Sam. That journey is never linear, and I'm so glad you've taken steps toward healing through therapy. You are not alone in this, and thank you for bravely sharing. We all have our ups and downs, but it's the willingness to keep going that's powerful. At Faith and Faye. I felt hopeless after my breakup. I thought I'd never be able to move on, but I eventually realized it was an opportunity to rediscover myself and what I wanted in life. At Faith and Faye, breakups can feel like the world is ending, but your mindset shift is truly inspiring. It's amazing how those moments of hopelessness can push us into the greatest seasons of self-discovery. Proud of you for taking that step toward growth. At Wander with Wendy. Yes, I went through a rough patch when I lost my dad. I didn't know how to cope. It was only after I allowed myself to grieve properly and speak to a therapist that I found hope again. Losing a loved one is such a heavy experience. At Wander with Wendy. Thank you for sharing your vulnerability. Giving yourself permission to grieve is such an important part of the healing process. I'm so glad you found support through therapy, sending you lots of love and light. At Chasing Calm. I felt hopeless when I didn't get into the grad school I had been dreaming of. It made me feel like a failure. I'm still working through it, but journaling has been my way of processing. At Chasing Calm, that's such a tough blow, but your resilience shows in the fact that you're continuing to process those emotions. Journaling is such a great outlet. Keep giving yourself grace through the journey. You're on your way to even greater things, I'm sure of it. At Glowing Grace. When I lost myself trying to please others, I became hopeless. The hardest part was realizing that I needed to please myself first. Self-love changed my life. Wow. At Glowing Grace, that realization is so powerful. Pleasing ourselves and prioritizing our needs can be difficult, but so necessary. Your journey towards self-love is a true testament to your strength and resilience. Keep shining. At Healing Hannah. I've been battling chronic illness, and sometimes it's hard not to feel hopeless. But what keeps me going is the hope that better days are coming. Chronic illness can feel like such an isolating experience. At Healing Hannah, but the hope you hold on to is everything. I admire your strength and perseverance. Better days are indeed on their way, and you're not alone in this fight. I believe in Bree. After my divorce, I felt so hopeless. I didn't know who I was anymore. But now, I'm learning to embrace the new version of myself, and it's liberating. Divorce can feel like an identity crisis. At Believe in Bree. But I love how you've reframed it into a journey of liberation and self-discovery. You are more than what you've been through, and I'm so glad you're embracing your power. You go, girl. At Phoenix Rise. I felt hopeless after failing to meet society's expectations of success. It's still a struggle, but I'm learning to define success on my own terms. This resonates so deeply. At Phoenix Rise. Society's expectations can be such a burden, but the true win is finding your own definition of success. I love that you're taking that step. It's such a freeing realization. Keep redefining success your way. At Life with Lana. Hopelessness has been a theme throughout my life, but I've come to realize that it's in those moments I've grown the most. Gratitude and perspective have kept me grounded. That's such a profound insight. At Life with Lana. Hopelessness often feels like a rock bottom, but it's also where we find the strength to rise. Gratitude and perspective are such key tools in that journey. You are incredible for embracing those moments and growing from them. I would also love to take a moment to read out some of the DMs filled with gratitude that I've received from you amazing Soulful ambassadors. Your messages truly fuel my heart, and I want to send a special shout out to all of you who took the time to share your stories with me. It's beyond beautiful to know how the podcast has impacted your lives. At hopeful_Jenna, listening from California, USA. Riley, I've been feeling stuck for months, but after listening to the first episode, I felt like I could finally breathe. Your words gave me hope when I couldn't find it on my own. Thank you for creating a space where we can be vulnerable without judgment. Jenna, I'm so glad this episode resonated with you. It's moments like these that remind me why I started Heartbeat Chronicles. You're not alone in this journey, and I'm sending you all the love from across the country. Keep that hope alive, soulful friend. At strength_in_me, listening from Toronto, Canada. I didn't even realize how much I needed this episode until I listened to it. I've been silently struggling, and hearing your perspective on hopelessness gave me a fresh outlook. Thank you, Riley, for helping me find hope in such a tough time. Your strength shines through in every word. At strength_in_me. I'm so grateful that this episode spoke to your heart. Keep pushing forward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Thank you for tuning in from Toronto, sending love and light your way. At courageous_soul, listening from Sydney, Australia. Riley, this episode was exactly what I needed. I've been dealing with a lot of personal loss, and your words reminded me that there's still a way forward. You truly helped me take that first step toward healing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Wow, at courageous_soul, hearing that this episode helped you start your healing journey is everything. Personal loss is tough, but you are tougher. I'm sending all my love and support across the ocean to Sydney. You're stronger than you know. At Sarah's_soul_journey, listening from London, UK. Riley, your episode on hopelessness hit home. I felt like giving up so many times, but your words helped me rediscover my inner strength. Thank you for shining a light on such a difficult topic. You've no idea how much this means to me. At Sarah's_soul_journey, I'm so touched by your words. You are truly resilient, and I'm honored to have played a small part in reigniting your inner light. London may be far, but my support for you is right here. Keep shining, beautiful soul. At faithful_heart_23, listening from Cape Town, South Africa. This episode made me realize I'm not the only one who feels lost sometimes. Your vulnerability gave me permission to feel my emotions and still find hope. Thank you for reminding me that hopelessness doesn't last forever. Forever grateful, Riley. At faithful_heart_23, thank you for listening from Cape Town. Hopelessness truly doesn't last forever, and I'm so happy this episode reminded you of that. Remember, it's okay to feel what you're feeling, and you have a whole community here cheering you on. Keep the faith alive. I encourage all of you to keep reaching out to me. Our DMs are always open. When I get responses like these, it makes me so happy to know that this podcast resonates with you. Keep them coming, Soulful ambassadors. Your stories and insights truly fuel the heartbeat of this community. I've got to say, I am absolutely thrilled by the incredible responses we received from episode 2 on 10 surprising things to normalize in the bedroom. Your enthusiasm and engagement have truly blown me away. And it's been so heartwarming to see how many of you are eager to dive deeper into these important and often overlooked topics. We've had so many thoughtful comments, DMs, and emails, and it's clear that these conversations are resonating with you on a very personal level. It's exactly what this podcast is all about. Creating a safe, open space where we can all talk about intimacy, body positivity, and relationships without any of the usual taboos. Today, I've picked out a few of your incredible questions to answer, and I am beyond excited to get into these meaningful and, let's be honest, quite fun discussions. So settle in and let's jump right into the heart of these wonderful conversations. I received an interesting question from a Soulful ambassador in the UK. They're a young, engaged couple, a huge fan of our show, and they're navigating a unique aspect of their relationship. The Soulful ambassador writes, "Hey Riley, my fiance and I are in our 20s from the UK and a huge fan of your podcast. We're engaged and soon to be married, and there's something we'd love your advice on. My fiance has a particular interest in bellies and belly buttons, especially mine since I have an outie. She loves to tease, play with, and even lick my belly button, and she wants to try other playful things like blowing raspberries, using whipped cream or ice cubes, and even incorporating belly button play into more intimate moments. The thing is, I'm very sensitive and ticklish, especially around my belly, so while I want to embrace this playful side with her, I often feel uncomfortable. On top of that, I've always been self-conscious about my outie belly button, and none of my past partners have ever seen it. My fiance, on the other hand, loves it, and that gives me comfort, but I'm still trying to figure out how to become more comfortable with it myself. Hey there, Soulful ambassador. I'm so excited to hear from you. And I love that you're reaching out to dive deeper into your connection. First of all, congrats on the engagement. It's beautiful that you and your fiancé have built such a strong relationship full of love and trust, especially around something personal like body acceptance. Now let's talk about belly buttons. It's completely natural to feel self-conscious about any part of your body, especially something as unique as an outie belly button. And honestly, it's not as uncommon as you might think. There are plenty of people with outies. It's just that innies tend to be more common. What I love about this is that your fiance clearly adores this part of you, and it's a chance for you both to explore something intimate together while building confidence in the process. First off, I love that you're thinking about how to embrace your outie and make it something that you can truly enjoy and love. Having your fiance mess around with your outie, like making farting noises or raspberries, can definitely help you connect with a playful side of yourself and bring back those fun, carefree childhood memories. This is a great way to associate your belly button with positive feelings instead of self-consciousness. When it comes to bringing up belly farts and raspberries, just keep it lighthearted and fun. You could say something like, I used to love when people blew raspberries on my belly as a kid, and I think it would be fun to try that now. Let her know that it's a way to help you feel more comfortable with your belly button, and that it could also be a cute and intimate way to bond. Given how much she already loves your outie, I'm sure she'll be excited to play along. The key here is to embrace the joy in it. Raspberries and belly play don't just have to be sexual. Sometimes it's about reconnecting with your body in a fun, non-serious way. That can do wonders for helping you appreciate your outie and feel good about it. Keep the conversation playful, and I'm sure she'll be eager to make you feel even more comfortable with your body. And remember, part of loving your outie is allowing yourself to experience joy and pleasure in ways that make you happy. If raspberries help you relive those happy moments, then go for it. It's all about building that confidence and trust, not just with your fiancé, but with yourself too. Now let's dive into some playful ideas to really embrace the belly button fun. First off, it's important to keep everything light and filled with laughter. Remember, the goal here is to associate your belly button with positive, joyful experiences. Start simple. One great way is to introduce playful belly raspberries. These are not just for kids. They can be super fun and a lighthearted way to break the ice. When you're in a relaxed and cozy moment, perhaps during a lazy Sunday morning, you could gently suggest, "Hey, how about we try blowing some raspberries on each other's belly buttons? It used to make me laugh so much as a kid." This can set a playful tone and open up the door to more fun and intimate experiences. If you're feeling adventurous, why not bring in some food items like whipped cream or a bit of honey? This can be a delicious way to spice things up. You could say something like, "I've been thinking, maybe we could try something sweet and fun. How about we use a bit of whipped cream or honey and see where that takes us?" This can turn into a playful and sensuous activity that you both might enjoy. Another idea is to use temperature play. Ice cubes can add a thrilling sensation, but remember to take it slow, especially since you mentioned being sensitive. You could start by gently running an ice cube around your belly button and ask her to do the same. Warm up the experience with some gentle breath or kisses immediately after to create a surprising and delightful contrast. You could also incorporate body paint into your playful activities. Suggest drawing funny faces or little designs around each other's belly buttons. It's a creative and lighthearted way to bond and laugh together. Say something along the lines of, "Want to get artistic and paint around each other's belly buttons?" It could be our little body art gallery. As for initiating the conversation, keep it fun and pressure-free. Maybe start by sharing a memory or a funny story involving your belly button. Then ease into expressing your desire to add this playful element to your intimacy. You might say, "I remember how much fun I had as a kid with belly games. Maybe we could try adding some of that fun into our time together." Humor can be a great icebreaker, so don't be afraid to be a bit silly. Laughter is a fantastic way to strengthen your connection and make each moment more enjoyable and memorable. The key is to approach everything with a sense of fun and openness. Remember, playful activities like these can help transform how you feel about this unique part of your body. By associating your outie with joyful, carefree moments, you'll likely feel more comfortable and even begin to cherish it as your fiancé does. So keep things light, embrace the giggles, and enjoy these belly button adventures together. Sensitivity and ticklishness are both super common, and trust me, you're not alone in feeling this way. The good news is that these sensations can be managed to help you fully enjoy these playful interactions with your fiancé. First off, let's talk about desensitization exercises. A great way to start is by engaging in some light, gentle touches around your belly button area. You can even make it part of your evening routine, maybe when you're watching TV or winding down. Just gently rub or lightly massage around your belly button. The goal here is to gradually get your body accustomed to these sensations, so they become less startling over time. Now, as you start feeling more comfortable with these light touches, you can slowly introduce more playful interactions. Maybe your fiancé can get involved too. Start with something less intense, like blowing cool air over your belly button, or softly tracing around it with her fingertip. The key here is to take it slow and keep it consistent. Over time, you'll likely find that what once felt ticklish or overly sensitive becomes more enjoyable, paving the way for more playful and intimate moments. It's also super important to establish a clear line of communication with her about what feels good and what doesn't. Make frequent check-ins a part of your playtime routine. For example, whenever she's playing around your belly button, she can ask things like, "How does this feel?" Or "Is this okay?" It can be as simple as a thumbs up or thumbs down gesture if you want to keep the mood light and fun. This constant feedback loop ensures that both of you are on the same page and that any discomfort can be handled immediately. Another tip is to add elements that distract from the ticklishness. Sometimes incorporating other sensations can help reduce the intensity of ticklish feelings. For instance, using an ice cube can be both a fun and different way to play while diverting your immediate focus from the ticklish sensation. Whipped cream or honey can also be an exciting addition, making the experience more about savoring new textures and tastes rather than just the feeling of touch. One other approach you might consider is focusing on your breathing. Deep, steady breaths can help calm your nervous system and reduce the tickle response. Whenever you're about to start this playful interaction, take a few deep breaths to ground yourself. Encourage your fiancé to breathe with you. It can be a beautiful way to synchronize and set a relaxing tone. Remember, this is all about finding joy and creating positive associations with your body. Eventually, you'll begin to notice that the sensitivity diminishes and the playful interactions become even more thrilling and enjoyable. Keep exploring, keep those lines of communication open, and before you know it, you'll find yourselves even more connected and engaged in delightful belly play. Integrating belly button play with sexual pleasure can be an exciting and intimate way to explore your connection with your partner. The key here is communication. Start by discussing your interest and your boundaries with your fiancé. You could say something like, "I love how playful you are with my belly button, and I'd be open to exploring how we can incorporate that into more intimate moments. How do you feel about that?" By initiating this conversation openly and honestly, you're creating a space where both of you can express your comfort levels and desires. During foreplay, you can introduce belly button play gradually to see how it feels in that context. For example, while she's teasing your belly button, you could focus on kissing her neck or whispering sweet nothings in her ear. This way, the attention isn't solely on your belly, making it a more integrated part of your overall intimate experience. You can also combine it with other forms of touch that you enjoy, creating a multifaceted sensory experience. Remember, the goal is to have fun and explore together. If something doesn't feel right, it's perfectly okay to pause and discuss how you're feeling. Desensitization exercises, as previously mentioned, can be really helpful here. Start with light, non-sexual exploration and gradually move towards more intimate play as your comfort grows. For more structured guidance, Beducated is a fantastic resource. They offer courses specifically designed to enhance intimacy through playful and sensual activities. The Sensual Massage and Exploration course is particularly relevant. It provides techniques on how to touch and explore each other's bodies in a way that enhances both connection and pleasure. Plus, it's a great way to build confidence and learn new skills that can benefit your relationship in many ways. You can get a 20% discount with our exclusive link, which you'll find in the description box and on our Instagram, heartbeat_chronicles. By taking a playful, patient approach and using resources like Beducated to guide you, you can turn belly button play into a pleasurable and cherished part of your intimate life. Always keep the lines of communication open and enjoy the journey of discovery together. Creating a private and intimate environment for exploring belly button play can be such a cozy and comforting experience. Think about those cool, rainy days when you and your fiancé just want to snuggle under the covers and feel close to each other. That's exactly the vibe you're going for here. Playing under the covers can add a layer of warmth and intimacy. The physical closeness combined with the dim light or even darkness can make you feel more secure and open to exploring without feeling self-conscious. You could see it as your little private world, just the two of you giggling and experimenting together. The blankets can help mute any sounds and keep the focus on your shared experience. Start by setting up your space, choose soft, comfy blankets and pillows, maybe light a few scented candles or use a diffuser to create a soothing atmosphere. A relaxing playlist in the background can set the mood, helping both of you to unwind. The more comfortable and relaxed you feel, the easier it will be to embrace the playful side of things. Don't rush into it. Begin with some gentle touching and light kisses to ease into the moment. You can incorporate playful elements gradually, like cheeky pokes or tracing circles around each other's belly buttons to build anticipation. This slow buildup makes the experience less overwhelming and more enjoyable. Also, keep communication open. Whisper to her how each touch feels, whether it's a light tickle that makes you laugh or a gentle press that feels soothing. Encourage her to share her feelings too, making it a mutual exchange of sensations and emotions. This kind of feedback loop strengthens your connection and ensures that both of you are comfortable and enjoying the process. Remember, this isn't just about your belly button. It's about discovering new things together. You could take turns exploring each other's bodies, perhaps with playful tummy kisses or belly-to-belly snuggles. For example, you might use whipped cream or an ice cube playfully on her belly button and then allow her to do the same to yours. It becomes a fun, reciprocal experience that heightens both emotional and physical intimacy. By focusing on creating a loving, playful environment, You're setting the stage for positive experiences that can make you feel more comfortable with your body. The blend of warmth, security, and affection can transform any lingering self-consciousness into a joyous embrace of each other's uniqueness. Finally, remember that the most important element in any relationship is open communication. It's wonderful that you're already discussing these feelings and desires with your fiancé, and continuing to do so will only strengthen your bond. Keep embracing that spirit of playfulness as you explore new things together. Keep the conversations light, loving, and filled with mutual respect and curiosity. For further guidance and support, definitely take a look at Beducated. They offer a wealth of resources designed to help couples enhance their intimacy, communicate more effectively, and explore new dimensions of pleasure together. The course I mentioned earlier on sensual massage and exploration could be a fantastic place to start. Also, don't forget to use the 20% discount link available in the description box and on our Instagram handle at heartbeat_chronicles. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and seeking advice. It's listeners like you who make this podcast a warm, engaging community. Embrace your unique quirks, celebrate your bond, and keep those playful moments alive. I can't wait to hear how your adventure unfolds. Question 2. Riley, I loved the episode on normalizing things in the bedroom. One question, though. What's a good way to start a conversation with my partner about something new I'd like to try without making it awkward? Hey, Emily. Great to hear from you, and I'm glad you enjoyed the episode about normalizing things in the bedroom. Your question is a fantastic one because, let's be honest, bringing up new bedroom ideas can be a bit nerve-wracking. But fear not, because I've got some tips to help make that conversation as smooth as possible. First off, the key to any successful conversation about intimacy is openness and curiosity. Frame it as something exciting and fun that you both can explore together. You could say something like, "Hey, I've been thinking about trying something different to spice things up. What do you think?" This approach makes it clear that you're inviting your partner to join you in an adventure, not pressuring them into something they might not be comfortable with. Another tip is to pick a good time to talk. Timing really is everything, folks. Avoid bringing up new ideas in the heat of the moment or when either of you is stressed. Choose a relaxed setting, maybe during a cozy dinner at home or while you're both unwinding in the evening. This way, the conversation doesn't come across as a big deal, but rather as a casual and open chat. Keeping the tone light and playful also helps reduce any potential awkwardness. You could even start with a bit of humor to ease the tension. Something like, "I read about this new thing we could try and it sounded pretty wild. Want to hear about it?" This keeps the vibe fun and opens the door for you to discuss your thoughts without any pressure. It's also important to be honest about why you're interested in trying something new. Share your feelings and thoughts in a way that highlights your excitement rather than dissatisfaction with the current situation. For example, "I really enjoy our time together, and I think trying this new thing could make it even more amazing. What do you think?" This shows your partner that your interest is about deepening your connection and trying new things together, not about anything they're lacking. Remember, the goal here is to create a space where both of you feel safe and excited to share your desires and boundaries. Encourage your partner to share their thoughts and feelings too. Ask questions like, "How do you feel about this idea?" Or, "Is there something new you've been curious to try?" This invites a two-way dialogue and fosters mutual understanding and comfort. If your partner isn't into the idea, that's okay. Respect their feelings and thank them for being honest. You can say something like, "Thanks for sharing how you feel. I just wanted us to explore together. If you're ever curious about something new, I'd love to hear about it too." This keeps the lines of communication open and emphasizes that it's a team effort. In summary, approach the conversation with openness, curiosity, and a dash of humor. Choose the right moment, be honest about your intentions, and encourage your partner to share their thoughts. With these tips, you'll create a comfortable environment where both of you can explore new things together without any awkwardness. Thanks for tuning in, Emily. I hope this helps, and I can't wait for you to hear more in our upcoming episodes. Question 3. Hey, Soulful Riley, is it normal to not feel comfortable with certain things in the bedroom that my partner seems totally fine with? Camilla, thanks for reaching out with such an important question. It's absolutely normal to have different comfort levels when it comes to intimacy in the bedroom. Everyone has their own likes, dislikes, and boundaries, and it's completely okay to feel uncomfortable with things that your partner might be totally fine with. The first thing to remember is that open and honest communication is key. It can make a world of difference when both partners know where each other stands. You might start by saying something like, "Hey, I really want us both to be comfortable and enjoy our time together. There are some things I'm not entirely comfortable with, and I'd love to talk about what feels good for both of us. This way, you're opening the door for a calm and respectful discussion. Boundaries are essential in any relationship. They help create a safe space where you both feel respected and understood. Think of boundaries as guidelines that help maintain trust and comfort. It's perfectly okay to say, I'm not comfortable with this particular activity. And it's equally important for your partner to understand and respect that. One practical approach is to find common ground. Maybe there are things you both enjoy and feel comfortable with. Focus on those activities and build from there. You could explore new things together that cater to both of your comfort levels, creating a shared experience where neither of you feels pressured or uneasy. It's also vital to check in with each other regularly. Asking questions like, how do you feel about trying this? Or is there something you'd rather not do? Can help ensure that you're both on the same page. These conversations don't have to be serious or intense. Keeping a light and open tone can make the topic easier to navigate. And let's not forget, it's okay to change your mind. Comfort levels can evolve over time, and what might feel uncomfortable today could become something you're open to in the future, or vice versa. The important thing is to give yourself and your partner the space to express these feelings without judgment. If ever in doubt, take small steps. Introduce new activities gradually and see how they feel. This way, you're easing into it rather than diving headfirst into something one of you isn't ready for. It's about creating a pace that works for both of you. To sum it up, different comfort levels are perfectly normal. The key is respecting each other's boundaries, communicating openly, and finding mutual ground where you both feel satisfied and connected. Thanks for bringing this up, Camilla. Communication is indeed the foundation of a healthy and enjoyable relationship. Question 4. Hey, Soulful Riley, you mentioned that communication is crucial. How do I bring up past experiences that impact my comfort in the bedroom without making my partner feel like it's their fault? Hey, Jason, I'm so glad you brought this up because it's such an important topic. Sharing past experiences, especially those that impact your current comfort level, can be tricky to navigate. But the good news is it doesn't have to be a daunting conversation. First and foremost, it's crucial to set the right tone. You want to make sure your partner understands that this is not about assigning blame or pointing fingers. A good way to start might be by saying something like, I want to share something from my past because it affects how I feel sometimes. But it's not about you, it's about me, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from. This approach is gentle and focuses on opening up rather than shutting down. Another vital aspect is to create a safe space for this conversation. Choose a time when both of you are relaxed and not in a rush. Maybe this is during a cozy evening at home or during a quiet walk. The setting can make a huge difference in how the conversation unfolds. When your partner feels like they have your undivided attention, it helps them feel valued and more willing to listen. It's also helpful to be as straightforward as you can be. If specific past experiences have triggered certain feelings or anxieties for you, explain them honestly, but without dramatizing. For example, you could say, there was a time in my past where I didn't feel respected and it made me sensitive to certain situations now. Notice how this is clear, but not overly detailed, keeping the focus on your feelings and why they matter. Reassuring your partner throughout the conversation is key. Let them know how much you appreciate their understanding and patience. You might say, I really appreciate you listening and being here for me. It means a lot. Validation goes a long way in easing tension and fostering a supportive atmosphere. And here's something crucial. Remember that this doesn't have to be a one-and-done conversation. It's okay to revisit the topic as many times as needed. It's about creating an ongoing dialogue where both of you feel comfortable checking in on each other's feelings. You can say, I'd love for us to keep talking about this if you have any questions or thoughts later on. Lastly, don't forget about the power of empathy. Encourage your partner to share their own experiences and feelings too. It's a two-way street. Creating mutual understanding will not only help in the bedroom, but also strengthen your overall relationship. You can prompt this by asking, is there anything from your past that you'd like to share with me? By approaching the conversation with empathy, openness, and patience, you build a foundation of trust and understanding. Remember, it's all about growing together and ensuring that both of you feel safe and respected in your intimate space. Thanks for raising such an important question, Jason. Question 5. Loved the episode, Riley. But what if my partner and I just don't seem to align on some of these things you mentioned? Is that normal? Hey, Rachel, thanks for reaching out with your question. It's actually super common for partners to not always see eye to eye on what they enjoy in the bedroom. In fact, I'd be surprised if every couple had perfectly matched preferences all the time. It's all part of the journey together, right? First off, understand that having different likes and dislikes doesn't mean you and your partner are incompatible. It simply means you're unique individuals with your own set of experiences, fantasies, and comfort zones. And that's a great thing. These differences can actually add a layer of richness to your relationship if approached with the right attitude. So how do you navigate these differences without things feeling awkward or strained? Communication is your best friend here. Start by creating a safe and open environment where both you and your partner feel comfortable sharing your thoughts and feelings. You can say something like, "Hey, I've been thinking about the things we do in the bedroom, and I wonder if we could talk about what really turns us on and what doesn't." This sets the tone for an honest conversation and shows that you're open to hearing their side as well. Patience is another key element. Adjusting to each other's preferences takes time. Remember, it's not about changing who you are or what you like. It's about finding that happy medium where both of you feel satisfied and respected. Maybe try to approach it like an adventure, a series of experiments where you both get to discover new things together. Some things will work and others may not, and that's completely okay. Also, consider using I statements to express your feelings without sounding accusatory. For instance, instead of saying, "You never seem to be into what I like," try, "I sometimes feel like we're not in sync, and I'd love for us to figure this out together." This way, it's clear that you're seeking a collaborative solution, not placing blame. One practical tip could be to set aside a specific time to have these conversations. It could be a cozy evening on the couch with a glass of wine, for instance. Keeping the setting relaxed and informal can lessen any potential tension and let the conversation flow more naturally. Don't forget to celebrate the small wins. Anytime you find something that works for both of you, acknowledge it. Positive reinforcement can go a long way in making both of you feel good about the progress you're making. It might also be helpful to revisit this dialogue from time to time. As people grow and change, so do their preferences. Keeping an ongoing conversation about your likes and dislikes can ensure that you're both staying in tune with each other. So, Rachel, take heart in knowing that it's completely normal to not always align perfectly with your partner on every little thing. What's most important is the mutual respect, understanding, and effort you both bring to the table. It's this shared journey of discovery that can bring you even closer together. Thank you for your question, Rachel. I hope this helps, and wishing you all the best in creating a more fulfilling and enjoyable experience together. Question 6. Riley, how can I make sure that both my partner and I feel equally satisfied and understood when we're exploring new things? Hey, David, ensuring mutual satisfaction is all about creating a continuous, open dialogue with your partner. This goes beyond just asking for feedback after a new experience. It's about making communication a part of your routine, both inside and outside the bedroom. First, it's crucial to check in with your partner regularly. A simple, "How did you feel about that?" Or, "Was there anything you particularly enjoyed or didn't enjoy?" can go a long way. These questions create an environment where both of you feel comfortable sharing your thoughts without fear of judgment. Next, make it a team effort. When you try something new, frame it as a collaborative experiment. Saying something like, "I thought it might be fun if we tried this together. What do you think?" helps to position the experience as a mutual exploration rather than a one-sided desire. This way, both partners are equally involved and invested in the outcome. It's also important to actively listen to each other's feedback. If your partner expresses any discomfort or disinterest, take it seriously and discuss it openly. Understand that exploring new activities should always be consensual and enjoyable for both parties. Acknowledging and respecting boundaries ensures that both partners feel heard and valued. Additionally, mix up your approach by incorporating variety. Sometimes, sticking to a routine can make things feel mundane. By introducing small changes or new elements, you keep things exciting and prevent either partner from feeling bored or unsatisfied. This could be as simple as changing the setting, introducing new props, or even just varying the pace. Remember, satisfaction isn't just physical. It's emotional as well. Create a balance where both partners feel emotionally connected and supported. Engage in conversations about what turns each other on, what fantasies you might have, or any inhibitions that might exist. Understanding these deeper layers of intimacy can bring you closer and enhance the overall experience. You can also try planning these conversations at times when you're both relaxed and not in the heat of the moment. Perhaps over a nice dinner or while going for a walk. This reduces any pressure and allows you both to openly discuss your desires and concerns. Lastly, celebrate the successes together. When you both find something that works well, acknowledge it. Positive reinforcement can make a huge difference in maintaining an open and adventurous spirit in your relationship. A simple, "I'm so glad we tried that," or "I really enjoyed that time together," reinforces the positive experiences and builds excitement for future explorations. In conclusion, mutual satisfaction is achieved through keen attention to communication, active listening, variety, and emotional connection. Keep experimenting, keep talking, and always ensure that both of you feel equally satisfied and understood. Thanks for the fantastic question, David. Question 7. Hey, Soulful Riley. Do you have any tips for making the bedroom a judgment-free zone where we can feel more comfortable trying new things? All right, Sam. Let's dive into creating that judgment-free zone in the bedroom. First off, kudos to you for wanting to make your intimate space more comfortable and open. It's such an important step for both you and your partner. So how do we get started on this? Well, communication is absolutely key. Begin by having an open, honest conversation with your partner outside of the bedroom where there's less pressure. You might say something like, "Hey, I've been thinking about ways we can make our intimate moments more fun and relaxed. What are your thoughts on creating a space where we can feel free to try new things without any judgments?" Framing it as a mutual goal can help take the pressure off and set a positive tone. Next, let's talk about setting some ground rules. You can agree that any idea suggested is valid, no rolling eyes or dismissive comments allowed. It's all about mutual respect and understanding that everyone has different preferences and boundaries. By establishing this kind of environment, you make it more likely for both of you to share openly. Another tip is to embrace a sense of playfulness. Sometimes things won't go as planned, and that's perfectly okay. Laughing off any awkward moments can really help in keeping the mood light and relaxed. For instance, if something doesn't go as expected, it's fine to giggle about it together. It's a shared experience, and that laughter can be incredibly bonding. It's also really helpful to start small. Instead of diving into something completely new and potentially overwhelming, try incorporating little changes and see how you both feel about them. It could be a new type of touch or even a game that focuses on building trust and connection. Small wins can build confidence and make the idea of trying new things feel less daunting. Checking in with each other regularly is also crucial. After trying something new, ask your partner, "How did you feel about that?" Or, "Was there anything you liked or didn't like?" This shows that you value their comfort and opinions, and it keeps the lines of communication open. Remember, it's a journey. Building a judgment-free zone won't happen overnight, and that's okay. Every step towards more open communication and mutual understanding is a step in the right direction. Keep the conversations ongoing, be patient with each other, and celebrate the progress you make together. So, Sam, embrace the process and keep fostering that sense of openness and curiosity. The more you both practice being non-judgmental and supportive, the easier and more enjoyable it will become. Thanks for your question and happy exploring. Question 8. Riley, I noticed you mentioned Beducated in the episode. How can their courses help improve intimacy and communication in the bedroom? Sarah, your question about how Beducated can help improve intimacy and communication is a fantastic one. Beducated offers a wealth of resources designed to foster closer connections and enhance intimacy between partners. Let's dive into how their courses make a difference. First off, what sets Beducated apart is its focus on practical, hands-on advice. It's not just theoretical knowledge, it's actionable steps that you and your partner can take together. Imagine being able to watch expert demonstrations and then try those techniques in the comfort of your own home. It makes the entire process feel more approachable and less intimidating. Plus, the visual guides are incredibly helpful, breaking down complex ideas into simple, understandable segments. Another major advantage is that these courses cover a wide range of topics, not just the physical aspects, but also emotional and psychological elements of intimacy. From understanding consent and boundaries to mastering new ways to express affection and desires, Beducated provides a holistic approach to intimate relationships. This multifaceted perspective helps you see intimacy as not just a physical act, but a culmination of emotional and psychological well-being. For example, they have courses specifically geared towards improving communication. These are incredible because they offer scripts and conversation starters that you can use to discuss delicate topics without feeling embarrassed or awkward. There's something so empowering about having the right words to express what you need and what you desire. Let's not forget the focus on creating a safe and judgment-free space, which is key for any intimate exploration. Beducated emphasizes mutual respect and understanding, making it easier for partners to openly discuss their needs and preferences. This kind of open dialogue is often the first step toward a more fulfilling, intimate life. You'll find that the courses encourage both partners to listen actively and respond thoughtfully, reducing misunderstandings and building a stronger connection. They also tackle the idea of self-exploration, which is equally essential. Understanding your own body and what brings you joy can drastically improve how you communicate those preferences to your partner. Beducated offers solos courses that guide you through discovering your own pleasure zones, which can be incredibly eye-opening and boost your confidence in intimate settings. What's great is that Beducated courses are structured to be self-paced. You and your partner can go through them at your own speed, making it convenient, stress-free, and tailored to your schedule. It's like having a personal coach that you can consult whenever you're ready without the pressure of keeping up with a class or a timeline. In addition, their expert-led courses come with a community aspect. There's a forum where you can discuss what you've learned, ask questions, and get advice from both experts and peers who are going through similar experiences. This sense of community can make the journey feel less like an isolated effort and more like a shared adventure. So whether you're looking to deepen your emotional connection or learn new techniques to bring into the bedroom, Beducated offers tools and insights to help strengthen your relationship. It's about enriching the entire experience, making it more fulfilling and enjoyable for both you and your partner. Question 9. Hey, Soulful Riley. Do you think Beducated is suitable for beginners like me who are just starting to explore deeper intimacy? Tim, that's a fantastic question. So, you're diving into the world of deeper intimacy and wondering if Beducated is the right place to start. First off, let me just say, hats off to you for wanting to improve your intimate life. It shows a lot of maturity and openness to growth, which is a great place to be. Now, Beducated is an absolute gem for beginners. One of the things I love about it is how it breaks down complex topics into bite-sized, manageable pieces. You won't feel like you're jumping into the deep end without a life vest. Instead, you get to dip your toes in, get comfortable, and then dive deeper at your own pace. The courses are designed to be approachable and user-friendly, meaning you don't need a manual to figure out what's being discussed. The content is delivered by experts who really know their stuff. They take the time to explain things clearly, use relatable language, and they often include step-by-step guides. This way, you never feel lost or out of your depth. Plus, they use a lot of visual aids and real-life examples, so you can actually see and understand what they're talking about. Another big plus is the emphasis on creating a comfortable, judgment-free learning environment. You can explore these topics privately and at your own pace, which is a big deal for many beginners who might feel self-conscious. One of the great things about Beducated is that it doesn't just focus on the physical aspects of intimacy. They really dig into the emotional and psychological sides, too. You'll find courses on everything from communication skills to understanding your own and your partner's needs to building a deeper emotional connection. It's like having a comprehensive toolkit for a healthier, happier, intimate life. And let's not forget the community aspect. Beducated fosters a supportive community where you can share experiences and insights with others who are on the same journey. It's a great way to feel connected and to realize that you're not alone in your quest for better intimacy. So, if you're a beginner looking to build confidence and gain a deeper understanding of intimacy, Beducated is definitely a fantastic resource. Dive in, take your time, and enjoy the journey. The most important thing is that you're taking steps to improve and understand this aspect of your life. You've got this, Tim. We also took this conversation about 10 surprising things to normalize in the bedroom to our socials. And we asked you this question. What is something that you have normalized in the bedroom that has made a positive difference in your relationship? And I absolutely loved your responses. I'll just mention a few here. At Tata_love. For me, it's been normalizing open communication during intimacy. It has really helped us understand each other's needs without any assumptions. That's such a powerful step at Tata_love. Open communication is key to deepening intimacy. It's amazing how simply talking about what you both need can make all the difference. Keep that energy going. At Michael15. We started normalizing laughter. It takes the pressure off when things get awkward and we end up bonding even more. I love this. At Michael15. Laughter breaks down barriers and makes everything feel lighter. It's great to hear how it's brought you closer together. Keep having fun with each other. It's such a beautiful thing. At Sarah_Bell, normalizing vulnerability. Being able to express fears and insecurities in the bedroom has brought us to a whole new level of connection. At Sarah_Bell, vulnerability is such a gift. When you open up that space to be truly seen, it creates trust and emotional safety. Kudos to you both for embracing that level of intimacy. At Leo_Heart, we've normalized aftercare. Checking in on each other emotionally after being intimate has brought a sense of security and comfort. At Leo_Heart, aftercare is so important. It helps you both feel emotionally nurtured and supported. I'm so happy to hear that it's brought more comfort to your relationship. At Emma_Sunshine. Bringing humor into the bedroom has been a game changer for us. We stopped taking ourselves too seriously, and it's made things more relaxed. At Emma_Sunshine, that's fantastic. Humor can be a great tension reliever and helps maintain a positive, lighthearted connection. Keep embracing that playfulness. At Alex_K, we normalized experimenting with new things, without judgment. It's allowed us to explore our desires freely, and it's been so liberating. At Alex_K, that's amazing. Creating a judgment-free space is essential for exploration. It sounds like you both have a wonderful level of trust and openness. Keep going. At Nina_Grace. We normalize taking time to cuddle and connect before and after intimacy. It's brought us so much closer emotionally. At Nina_Grace, the power of physical touch and connection outside of sex is so underrated. Those moments of closeness can really strengthen emotional bonds. Love that for you both. At Jason_XOXO, for us, it was normalizing non-sexual physical intimacy. Just holding hands or touching outside of the bedroom has made our relationship feel stronger. At Jason_XOXO, I'm all about that. Physical touch without the expectation of sex can deepen emotional intimacy in such beautiful ways. It's so heartwarming to hear it's working for you both. At Mariah23, we've normalized talking about boundaries without feeling awkward. It's made us respect each other's comfort zones even more. At Mariah23, respecting each other's boundaries is such a critical part of maintaining a healthy relationship. The fact that you can have those conversations openly is a true sign of growth and mutual respect. At Devin_Free, we started normalizing body positivity in the bedroom. We focus on celebrating each other's bodies instead of worrying about flaws. At Devin_Free, that's so empowering. When you celebrate each other's bodies, you create a space where love and acceptance flourish. It's beautiful to hear how it's enriched your relationship. Here are a few responses from our amazing Soulful ambassadors who tuned into episode 2, 10 surprising things to normalize in the bedroom, and shared their thoughts. Let's give them a shout out for their contributions. At Wanjiku Faith from Nairobi, Kenya. Listening to this episode was such an eye-opener. We've started being more open about our likes and dislikes, and it's brought us so much closer. Thank you for this conversation, Riley. Wanjiku, that's so beautiful to hear. Normalizing open communication in the bedroom is so key to deeper connection. I'm glad this episode inspired you. Keep nurturing that openness. It's a game changer. At Taylor Davis from New York. My partner and I have normalized setting the mood with small rituals before intimacy. Lighting candles and playing music has changed everything for us. Thank you, Riley. Taylor, I love that. Creating an intentional atmosphere can make a huge difference. It's amazing how small rituals like that can elevate your intimacy. Keep the vibes going strong. At Megan James from London, UK. I never thought asking for cuddles outside of sex could be so impactful. Now we cuddle more, and it's brought more warmth into our relationship. Thanks for helping me realize it's okay to ask for what I need. Megan, that's so heartwarming. Physical touch outside of sex can build intimacy in ways we often overlook. I'm so happy you felt empowered to ask for what you need. Keep those cuddles coming. At David Okoth from Nairobi, Kenya. This episode made me realize how important it is to be vulnerable with my partner. I've been more open about my insecurities, and it's really strengthened our bond. Thanks, Riley. David, wow. Vulnerability is such a powerful tool for deeper intimacy. I'm proud of you for taking that step, and it's wonderful to hear how it's positively impacted your relationship. Keep showing up for each other. At Samantha Rose from California. My partner and I started normalizing asking for time and space when we need it. And it's been so good for our mental health and our relationship. Thanks for bringing up these conversations, Riley. Samantha, that's incredible. Recognizing the need for space can be just as important as closeness. It's all about balance. And I'm thrilled this episode helped you both create that in your relationship. Keep taking care of each other's emotional well-being. At Lucy James from Toronto, Canada. Riley Beducated has been a game changer for us. We used the discount code from your podcast, and we've already learned so much about each other's needs in the bedroom. It's opened up so many new possibilities. Lucy, I'm so thrilled to hear that. Beducated is such a fantastic resource for deepening intimacy and exploring new experiences together. I'm glad the discount helped you both unlock new ways to connect. At Matthew Ross from Sydney, Australia. I was skeptical at first, but using your link to Beducated opened my eyes. We've been more intentional with our intimacy, and their courses gave us tools we didn't even know we needed. Thanks for the recommendation, Riley. Matthew, I get it. Sometimes it's hard to take that first step, but I'm so happy you and your partner found value in Beducated. It's all about learning and growing together. Keep exploring and having fun with it. At Emily Ochoa from Miami, Florida. We've been using Beducated since I heard about it on your podcast, and I can't thank you enough for sharing the discount code. Their classes helped us break down barriers and communicate our desires better. Our relationship feels so much stronger now. Emily, that's amazing. Communication is everything, and I'm so glad Beducated helped you both open up. It's wonderful to hear how much your relationship has grown. Wishing you both continued connection and joy. At Daniel Akamani from Nakuru, Kenya. I was so excited to use the Beducated coupon code from your show, Riley. It's been a wonderful journey learning together as a couple. We've tried new things we never even thought about before. Thank you for sharing this resource. Daniela, that's fantastic. It sounds like you both have really embraced learning and growing together, and that's so powerful. I'm happy Beducated is helping you explore new dynamics in your relationship. Keep going, you're doing great. Well, folks, we've reached the end of today's episode, and I've got to say, I'm still buzzing from all the amazing interactions we've had. Your questions, your responses, they've made this whole experience absolutely electric. I mean, who knew talking about the messy in-between of life could be this much fun? Now, don't you dare stop sending in those questions. I don't care how personal or out there they might seem. Trust me, we're all about diving into the juicy stuff here. Sex, body image, relationships, you name it, we're tackling it. So keep them coming because your burning questions are what keep this show sizzling. And hey, don't forget about our Hey Soulful Riley segment. It's not just a hashtag, it's our lifeline to you. Keep those questions and stories coming because that's what keeps this community alive and kicking. We're all in this messy, beautiful life together. So let's stay connected. Hey, remember those awesome discount links I mentioned earlier? Well, let me give you a quick recap because these deals are too good to miss. If you're looking to boost your mental health game, we've got a sweet 20% off with Call Mary. They've got top-notch therapists and counselors ready to help you out. Oh, and don't forget about that free mental health test. Now, for all you bedroom explorers, Beducated is still offering that juicy 25% discount. But hurry. It's only good until September 18th. Talk about a limited time offer. All the links and coupon codes are waiting for you in the description box and on our Instagram. Go get them, you savvy savers. Hey, Soulful listeners. If you want to take a piece of our podcast with you everywhere you go, we've got you covered with our amazing merch store. We've got everything from travel mugs to keep your coffee hot while you listen, to comfy tees and hoodies to show off your love for the show. And that's not all. We've got wall art to spice up your space, phone cases to protect your tech and style, and even stickers and pins for a little flair. So head over to our merch store and treat yourself to some Heartbeat Chronicles swag. We also working on something special for the holidays. Now let's talk about where you can catch our podcast. We're pretty much everywhere you love to listen. You can find us on YouTube and Rumble for those who like to watch, or tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or SoundCloud if you're more of an audio person. But wait, there's more. We're also on Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Pocket Casts, Deezer, Listen Notes, Player FM, Overcast, Castro, Castbox, Podfriend, Good Pods, True Fans, and even the Pods Network. Whew, that's a mouthful, right? But hey, we want to make sure you can get your dose of soulful living wherever you are, whatever platform works best for you. If you want to keep the conversation going beyond the podcast, we've got you covered on all your favorite social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram at heartbeat_chronicles or catch my personal adventures at _soulful_Riley. We're also shaking things up on TikTok under Heartbeat Chronicles Podcast. For all you Reddit fans, we're there too as Heartbeat Chronicles Podcast. And don't forget to give us a like on Facebook and check out our Pinterest for some visual inspiration. Come join our vibrant community and let's keep the soulful vibes flowing. All right, Soulful family, we've reached the end of another amazing episode. I want to give a massive shout out to all our Soulful ambassadors out there. You guys rock. Your likes, comments, and engagement mean the world to me. And to everyone tuning in right now, thank you so much for being here. If you're loving what you're hearing, don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on those notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on our next Soulful adventure. Wow, what an incredible time we've had today, connecting on a deeper level through your stories, questions, and personal experiences. I always feel so grateful for the opportunity to engage with you all in the Hey Soulful Riley segment. Your vulnerability and openness make this community so special, and it's truly heartwarming to see how we support and uplift one another. You know, it's like we're all part of this big, crazy, soulful family. And let me tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Not even for a lifetime supply of avocado toast. Speaking of which, I tried to make some this morning and ended up with what can only be described as green mush on burnt bread. Maybe I should stick to podcasting, huh? But seriously, folks, the way you all share your hearts and souls with me and each other, it's like watching a bunch of emotional acrobats doing backflips of empathy. It's beautiful, it's messy, and sometimes it makes me want to happy cry into my pillow. Wow, what an incredible time we've had today, connecting on a deeper level through your stories, questions, and personal experiences. I always feel so grateful for the opportunity to engage with you all in the Hey Soulful Riley segment. Your vulnerability and openness make this community so special, and it's truly heartwarming to see how we support and uplift one another. You know, it's like we're all part of this big, crazy, soulful family. And let me tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything, not even for a lifetime supply of avocado toast. Speaking of which, I tried to make some this morning and ended up with what can only be described as green mush on burnt bread. Maybe I should stick to podcasting, huh? But seriously, folks, the way you all share your hearts and souls with me and each other, it's like watching a bunch of emotional acrobats doing backflips of empathy. It's beautiful, it's messy, and sometimes it makes me want to happy cry into my pillow. Remember, our DMs are always open, so keep the conversations flowing. Keep reaching out, and keep sharing your heart. You never know how your words might help someone else. It's like throwing kindness confetti. It gets everywhere, and suddenly everyone's covered in warm fuzzies. As always, stay soulful, stay connected, and don't forget to tune in next week for more heartfelt discussions. Who knows what we'll talk about? Maybe we'll solve world peace, or maybe we'll just spend an hour discussing why socks always disappear in the laundry. Either way, it'll be soul-nourishing fun. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And hey, if you're feeling down, just remember, you're someone's reason to smile. Even if that someone is just me, grinning like a fool while I record this podcast. See you soon, Soulful ambassadors. Keep spreading that love like it's your job, because in this community, it kind of is. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification button. Catch you on the flip side, you beautiful souls.